Has a delicious way for you to enjoy beef brisket. It's our open-faced hot beef sandwich. We start with our grilled Texas toast. Add a scoop of creamy mashed potatoes. Load them up with some tender hog wild beef brisket and top it off with our tasty brown gravy. It's absolutely delicious. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs. All happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Husker Nation, conference play is here for Husker women's hoops, and we need your help. The Huskers had one of their best starts ever, completing non-conference play with a perfect 12-0 record. But Big Ten play will be a challenge, and they need to hear Husker Nation in the stands for every basket, steal, and each and every win. The road to March starts now, so don't wait. Head to huskers.com/tickets and secure your seat for some unforgettable matchups in PBA. Go Big Red.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, for brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion and earn cash in the process. If you are 19 to 65 years old with excess weight to lose, you may qualify. Participants could earn up to $22,750 for their time. Study includes 1 2-night stay, 1 3-night stay, and 38 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/flamingo or call 866-213-2965. Weight loss not guaranteed.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker, who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Adam Carriker Show on a beautiful rainy day in good old Lincoln, Nebraska. Jake, do you like rainy days?
Absolutely, I do. They're my favorite, actually.
They're your favorite?
Yes.
Are you being serious?
I'm being absolutely serious. I would love to live in a place like Seattle. I know you're up from that region where there would be rain every day. I guess if I lived there for months, maybe it would impact me like they say it does, but here in Nebraska, rainy days refreshing to me every time.
So it's interesting you say that. We'll come back to where I grew up because I'm going to shock you with this. Apparently, I've never mentioned this. I actually grew up in a desert in the state of Washington, but we'll come back to that in a second. This is going to sound so weird, maybe even corny. I just love weather. I love variance in weather, if that makes sense. Like if it's hot, I love hot days. If it's cold, I actually love cold days. Being a big guy, anytime I would get the schedule, especially in the NFL, because in college, you kind of had an idea. I would get the schedule. I think I've mentioned this before. I'd always look for two things. I'd look for warm weather teams because, I get tired really, really fast. Now, if I'm hanging out or I'm going to the lake or the beach or whatever, hot days are great. And football pads, when it's 100 degrees and humid and you weigh 300 pounds, it's a little bit different. So I'd look for that, and I'd look for Denver, altitude. I have asthma. Like that would seriously affect me. So, ironically, the only NFL team I never played against was Denver. I played against all 31 other NFL teams and in almost every stadium. It just, ironically, was the only NFL team I never played against. And when we played at Colorado twice in college, my redshirt freshman year, I was on nickel, so I played 15 snaps. I think I talked about it the other day. I sacked Joel Klatt. That was my first game playing nickel. I knew I was going to play like 15 snaps so I could run around like crazy, and I'd chill for, 20 minutes till I had to do anything again. So it didn't really bother me. My junior year, that was when I started, and I didn't come off the field. We ran a 4-man line. There was 3 guys coming in, 3 guys going out. I was the 4th guy that did not come out much, and I'm not complaining about that. There were times when and it's back when tapping was like an insult, and I refused to do so. And there was a few times I may or may not have yacked all over the place, but my dad was like, you don't complain, you don't speak unless spoken to. Rub dirt on it, walk it off. That's how I was raised. So that's how I approached it. But when we played at Colorado going into my junior, I was genuinely concerned. I was like, how's this asthma thing going to affect me? I was brilliant about it and said nothing to nobody, like the team doctors or trainers. I was just like, I'm just going to see what happens. If I yak and pass out, they'll stretcher me off, I guess. But if you remember, that was the game where there was a fight at midfield before the game. They started talking trash to us. There was a fight at midfield. And their whole entire student section got kicked out at one point during the game. I don't know if you remember that. And we beat them like 30-3. So our offense was on the field for 40 minutes. Our defense was only on the field for 20 minutes. I think it's the one game in my entire career where I could say that, where the defense only played 20 minutes. I've never been more grateful. So long story short, I love all sorts of weather. I love rain. I love snow. I love heat, as long as I'm not in football pads. I love cold days in general. I love playing in cold weather. I felt like I could run and never get tired. I like rainy days. The one thing I don't like, and it's a terrible pun, I don't even do it on purpose, but I've done it so many times I know it's coming. The only thing I don't like is wind because literally it blows. Okay, that's the only thing I really don't like. I could do it without humidity. A little less humidity would be all right with me sometimes, but I've lived, St. Louis was worse than Lincoln. Virginia, we actually practice in Ashburn, Virginia, play in Landover, Maryland. The Washington Commanders and Redskins have actually nothing to do with Washington, D.C. itself. That was another level of humidity. When I lived in Florida with the family to rehab my knee, we moved down there to everyone knows Pensacola. It's really Gulf Breeze, which is like 400 people. Nice little area, right off the beach. Andrews Institute. We moved there to rehab my knee. I'll never forget the last workout I did there in Florida, deep in the heart of in the panhandle of Florida. It was August. It was on the turf. It was my last workout. That is the hottest I've ever been in my life, was Florida, mid-August, turf. I wasn't practicing. Again, it was the last workout I had to do. I just gotten cleared from my knee, trying to get back in football shape. So a lot of times when it's hot, it's humid, you get the ice towels. You take your 3 to 5 reps and you get your break. You're on a knee, helmet's on the ground, and the trainers are like dumping cold water on you via the ice towel, or you put it around your neck. It's the only time in my life where the ice towel had no effect on me. The ice towel felt like it was 1,000 degrees. I've never been so hot in my life. So then you come back to Nebraska, which is so much more humid than where I grew up. And I'll get back to that in a second. It's like, oh, this ain't bad at all. This isn't that bad at all. But where I grew up, state of Washington, we look on a map, okay, southeast corner is Tri-Cities. It'll say on a map, say Tri-Cities, Richland, Pasco. I grew up in Kennewick. So there's this thing that goes through, let's just say it goes through the middle of the state of Washington. I don't know if it's exactly middle, called the Rocky Mountains. So on the western side of the Rocky Mountains is Olympia, the capital, is Seattle, is the rain. For whatever the reason, the rain clouds doesn't really get over to the eastern part of the state. It's legit a desert. Like I'd be playing baseball games. It'd be 115 degrees. Now there's not much humidity. No. I mean, it was like 115, but 115 with like 1%, 0% humidity is not as bad as 95 degrees and like 90% humidity. Trust me, it's not close. So it would be hot, but there was no humidity. It was like there'd be tumbleweeds that blew across the road all the time. Like I'm talking a legit desert, nothing grew there, okay? The only thing we had randomly, ever heard of Columbia River? It's the second largest river in America behind the Mississippi. It was huge. It was ginormous. Okay. That was like the one thing that made life possible because everything would come off, provide power. You get water from the river or whatever. We had a big, gigantic dam up there. The name escapes me. It's been so long since I've been to that thing. But yeah, all this because I asked one question about rain. I told you we'd get going and we would just get growing, and that's what happened. Actually, so are the videos not working today?
No video today as of now. Yeah, hopefully we'll get that fixed.
Dude, I don't think I've ever done a show in my life with my hat forwards. So you made the comment, Adam, no video today. You can wear the hat forwards. So nobody can see me except for you and Jake's in the other room. I've got my hat on forwards.
That's right.
I'm not gonna lie, it feels weird. I'm not used to this.
By the way, beard's coming in good. Since you've been growing, I like the beard so far.
I appreciate that. So doomsday might be tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
Because I'm getting a haircut tomorrow. And normally I always have them shave me whenever I go in. So a decision's got to be made tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
After I'm here at the ticket, I'm going to go get my haircut. A decision's got to be made. So on Monday, either this thing's completely gone or I've decided to fully commit to the beard for a while.
Yes.
You'll get an
answer. I'm a little biased. I'm a beard guy, but yeah, I'm cheering for the beard.
You'll get an answer on Monday. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. It's like 50-50 coin flip.
That's good radio. Leave it out there.
That's the whole point of the show. Talk about my beard and leave everybody in a tense spot.
What's going to happen?
I really don't know what I'm going to do because I'm past the itchy stage.
Oh, yeah.
You know that week or two where it's just insanely itchy? Like this time last week, I was ready to shave the thing off. Like I'm past that. Like it's got a little bit, but not bad. So it's like, all right, I got past. Did I really suffer through all that just so I could shave it off now?
Right.
But I'm not really a beard guy in general. Am I going to commit to it? I might just flip a coin before I walk in and whatever lands on.
Well, if it's up to the text line, they say you're keeping it. D-Man says, got to keep it. We got 7826 says, text line vote, keep the beard.
Ooh.
Thomas and Lincoln says, Adam, full commit.
All right.
So we're all cheering for the beard.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm being swayed. The pendulum is swung to 51% pro beard now.
But you gotta. How's your wife doing? Again, this is a big question. Is she still pro beard at this point?
She hasn't told me to shave it.
Okay.
And in the past, anytime I've missed a shave, and I have grown a beard out in the past, but again, I wouldn't like really wrangle it in. It was just like the Jungle Book over here. So maybe the fact that I've actually tried, I need to trim it up. Even if they don't take it off, they need to trim it up tomorrow. Like I need to stay on top of this thing, as you know, being a beard expert as you are. But she hasn't said a word. Normally, anytime even if I just miss like a shave, she's like, you got to get caught up. That's tickling me. That's pricking me. She hasn't said a word.
Yeah.
And she's the one who told me to go for it. So I got to assume she's still on board.
There we go.
I don't know if she's listening. Ange, if you're listening, shoot me a text. I need to know if you're still on board or not. Because right now, the text line has swung me to at least 51% pro beard at this point.
Peer pressure.
I like it. I didn't know I was going to come in and get peer pressure today, but I'm here for everything. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Adam Carriker Show, where you're going to hear Husker sports, beer talk, weather talk, college football, sports in general, and you're going to get unique insight. Producer Jake and I, obviously, you're going to have a whole lot of fun in the process. Quick shout out, because we do got some portal talk to get to. So Okay, as I walked in, I'm like, what is this Miami Hurricane helmet doing on the table? Like, I was seriously like kind of upset for a second, wasn't I?
Yeah.
And then I saw the Ole Miss one, and you're like, oh, it's for the playoff game tonight. I'm like, oh, yeah, there's a playoff game on tonight. How absurd is this college football calendar that we basically have free agency in the middle of the AFC-NFC championship game, otherwise known as the two semifinal games? How crazy is that?
It is silly. I saw somebody quote on it, so I don't want to make my own, it's not my own thought, but somebody on college football Reddit was like, the top 10 stories, the playoff game is tonight. The top 10 stories at ESPN are about the transfer portal.
Yep.
For the college football page. It is a wild calendar.
If college football wants to make more money, which they obviously do, and they need to because you're paying your labor force a ton of money. There are college football quarterbacks getting paid more for this 1 year than Shedeur Sanders. Not that I'm going to feel sorry for him. He's going to get paid for the next 4 years. That's crazy. Like Sorsby is going to get $5 million reportedly. You got Sam Levitt, who's reportedly asking for $7 million. Poor old Shedeur Sanders is going to make, I had the number the other day. It's around $4 million over the next 4 years. So just a mere $1 million a year. I don't know how he's going to survive. Silver spoons are expensive. Did I say that out loud?
And he was like the top NIL guy last year. So, I mean, I think he got paid probably more last year than this year.
He probably hadn't even thought about that. How crazy is that? All right, ladies.
Legendary.
Oh, man. So we got portal talk. We've got a college football playoff game to talk about. Oh, that's where I was going with that. If college football wants to make more money, actually spread the calendar out. Like, actually spread it out, because then you can make more money off of each playoff game. Kind of like the AFC-NFC championship game. That's actually my favorite NFL weekend of the year, not the Super Bowl. I like having the two games to look forward to, and then the winner goes to the Super Bowl. So AFC-NFC championship weekend is actually my favorite NFL weekend of the year. So for me, I'm like, instead of this game being overshadowed, the winner's going to go play for the national title. And yet, it's probably not even top 5 in the headlines. It's all portal news. Where is Seth Levitt going? Where is, I don't know, is Raiola even in the top 5 at this point? He's not talked about a lot, even though he's following like 5,000 people from Oregon. Maybe that means something. Like, these are the headlines, though. Not the playoff game. You're leaving money on the table. Also, it just doesn't make any sense. How these coaches, what Curt Cignetti has done is phenomenally phenomenal. Number 5 portal recruiting class in the entire country. All right. And maybe Penn State isn't dead. They got the number 1 portal class in the country. Maybe Penn State has resurrected its program. Maybe Oklahoma State, who's got the number 2 class in the country, isn't dead. I couldn't believe what happened to them 2 years ago and then last year. But there's your number 1 and 2 portal classes in the entire country. Oklahoma State is almost 30 players committed, 29 commits in their portal class. Penn State is almost 25, 24. I like when you say almost something. It makes it sound like it is that, but it's not, so it sounds greater than. But it's still true because it's almost. It's not what you say. It's how you say it, Jake. So I think they need to fix the calendar so coaches don't lose their ever-loving minds. Like how Curt Cignetti has the 5th overall portal class in the country while being favored to win a college football playoff game is beyond me. That's insane, and it's not reasonable, and it's not the way it should be going forward. Also, it doesn't make any sense if you're trying to maximize revenue. You're condensing too many things into one time frame, so you're not maximizing each thing as far as from a fan perspective. Focusing on a college football playoff game, being able to focus on the portal. Like when free agency opens, it's all free agency in the NFL. When playoff games are going on, it's all playoff games. If you remember, the Bills and Chiefs had over 50 million viewers in that AFC championship game last year, which, if I remember correctly, more than doubled the national championship game for college football, because that calendar doesn't make any sense either. There's a theory that the college football national championship should be on January 1st, which I don't hate. You know what I love? Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl. Your semifinal games, kind of like the AFC NFC championship. I love that weekend. I want that on January 1st. You can have some meaningless bowl games in the morning, okay? And then maybe, what about this? So I'm much more prepared to talk about my college football playoff fix than I ever was at any point last year. I'm like, I could do it right now. But again, let's not bury the lead, which is the transfer portal in the playoff game tonight. I'm ready to actually talk about it. And I'm just telling you right now, the Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl, would be my 2 semifinal games on January 1st. You know when the national championship game would be played? Think about the NFL playoff calendar. So
2 weeks out? I mean, I don't know.
So think about this. Because my first thought was divisional weekend. Because there's 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday. Well, then Saturday night's wide open. If you could ask the NFL. Because they normally go afternoon, evening of Saturday, divisional weekend. Well, hey, NFL, we'll give you a little slice of the pie. Just go a little bit earlier. Give us the night game for our national championship. But then I looked, I was like, wait, wild card weekend, even though there's 6 games, there's 2 games Saturday, 3 Sunday, because they make that one the Monday night game.
Yeah, that's right.
Which gets uber views on a Monday night football game. It's terrible as far as the team having to play in it. Then you win, you got a short week for your playoff game the next week. So good luck with that, but they don't care. But that Saturday night's wide open, is my point. So my point is, you have your semifinal games, Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl, January 1st. You can have the bowl games that don't mean anything early in the morning, okay? And then it's about 8 or 9 days. Like this year, January 1st was Thursday. So then you would have had week 18, the NFL last weekend. This weekend, this Saturday night, wild card weekend, your national championship. And while those wild card games are being played, first of all, it's on a Saturday, which makes sense.
Absolutely.
I just think college football should be played on Saturday if possible. So it's on a Saturday. It's on a Saturday night, which is usually when you put your best game, although, Big Noon Kickoff has something to say about that. We will not give Fox the right to this game. So we can have the game at night, which makes a lot more sense. But then think about all wild card, NFL playoff wild card weekend. You can promote the wild card games. Oh, by the way, college football national championship Saturday night. And you can give the NFL a piece of that pie. I think it's worth it monetarily. So they benefit, you benefit throughout the entire, those 2 wild card games. You're promoting the game that night. I'm just telling you right now, that's how it would end for me. And then the portal would literally end. I would open the portal that following Monday. Give the guys, stay up all night, party, hydrate after you win the title or lose the title and you got to wallow in your sorrows. You have Sunday to recover. Then Monday, the portal opens. That's how I would do it. So what is that, like January 11th, 12th, whatever that day is? What do you think of that? This is not on the docket to be talked about at all. I said, Jake, I wanted to wait for another day, and this is what I did. What are your quick thoughts on that? Because I've got other ways that I'm ready to talk about it if you couldn't tell. Which I never got to that point last year. But what do you just think about how I would end the season?
No,
Zoom to the end.
I would love it. I mean, it is, again, it's frustrating to see college football. And part of this is the NFL saying, hey, we want these windows here and there. But it is frustrating, and it always has been to me, to be played on a Monday night at 8 o'clock or something, buried. College basketball the same way. Now you've got these semifinal games on Thursday and Friday. It just, like you said, college football is played on Saturday. Why don't we hit on Saturday where you can get a lot of these views? And so I love that, especially, like you said, a couple wild card games of the national championship game. What a day of football.
I think it'd be such a loaded weekend, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Then you got Monday Night Football. You've got 8 or 9 days to promote your national championship game. If somebody's a little bit banged up, you got a couple extra days to recover if you're playing in that title game. So basically, the college football playoff games would start. Crazy thought here. Crazy thought. The weekend after conference championship weekend. By the way, I'm not getting into all this. The conference championship games would mean something the way I want to do it. I'm not going to dive before this, but the college football playoff would start the weekend after the conference championship games are over. So you have 0 weekends in December without college football on your TV. And it leads all the way up until January 1st. You can still have your bowl games, okay? It's sprinkled in there as well. But instead of having a semifinal game on a random Thursday to where it's not even top 5 in the headlines, and then on a random Friday, like Indiana and Oregon is tomorrow night on a Friday, like it's going to get buried. Now people know semifinals January 1st, national championship, the Saturday night of NFL wildcard weekend. And it's just bing, bang, boom. There's not these 25, by the way, teams with the first round bye are 1-7 in the college football playoff. It's obviously not an advantage. So you get rid of that ridiculous thing. The calendar just makes a lot more sense. We got to get back to the topic at hand. Also, we got to go to break. Have you had fun so far, at least?
Yeah, we've covered everything. Like I said, weather, rain.
You know what I took away
from the order, all that sort of stuff.
You know what I took away from the text line? Adam, we can't see you, so your beard looks great. You should keep it. That's what I took away. I do got to give a shout out to a couple of our good partners on the show, and then we'll head to break, and then we'll get back to portal news and a prediction for Miami versus Ole Miss. I've got all these thoughts about Indiana, Oregon as well. It's interesting to me because you look at the Final Four teams that are left. Oregon has the most, look at recruiting rankings, transfer portal rankings, they have the most talented roster. More so than Ole Miss, more so than Miami. There's a decent margin. I wouldn't say by a wide margin, but a decent margin. Indiana has, according to those same rankings, 0 5-stars, 0 4-stars. It's a bunch of 3-stars and James Madison guys. And by far, there is a separation. By far the least talented roster. Yet Indiana's favored. Miami, Ole Miss tonight. All right. Shout out to Hamilton Telecommunications. They are bringing you the latest in quality technology and communication services since 1901. Learn more about their residential and business services at hamiltontel.com. That's Hamilton, TEL.com. Also, shout out to our good friends at Suizo Construction, where safety is not just a policy, it is a promise. Suizo is hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back on and off the job site. Apply today at Suizo.com. 40 years strong in business. Suizo Construction. Again, Suizo.com. SCHWISOW.com. When we come back, let's chat about Nebraska's transfer portal class, random transfer portal news, Nebraska's new quarterback. Do they need another portal quarterback? And then we will end the show today, because this is where your semifinal college football playoff game prediction belongs, at the end of the show. We will end the show today by me continuing my dominance in the college football pick'em.
Yeah.
So you said I had like 9 more correct throughout the year than you.
Yeah.
Winning percentage wise, how do you think I stacked up to Terrell?
I would say favorably or close to it. I don't want to, he's very serious about the winning percentage and not mattering because he wants total games. But we picked less games, so you'd have to do winning percentage with him. But I'm not sure exactly where it was. Because he's around 62, 63%. I think you were probably in that
64
same type of area. Yeah.
Yeah, 65.
65, 66%. Yeah.
That works for me. Don't you remember when we rehearsed before the show? I said I'm going to ask you,
right, yeah.
And you're just supposed to say that I had a higher winning percentage.
I think you had like a 70% winning percentage this year.
There we go. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild has a delicious way for you to enjoy beef brisket. It's our open-faced hot beef sandwich. We start with our grilled Texas toast. Add a scoop of creamy mashed potatoes. Load them up with some tender Hog Wild beef brisket and top it off with our tasty brown gravy. It's absolutely delicious. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at koppelcars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
It's the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th at the Sandhills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Come see Trophy Deer. Hunting seminars, hunting and outdoor exhibitors, a 3D archery tournament, enter the blind giveaway, and more. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate, January 16th, 17th, and 18th. Learn more at nebraskadeerandgameexpo.com and find them on Facebook. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 16th through the 18th in Lincoln.
All right, fellas, it's January. You're setting goals, you're hitting the gym, but have you checked what's going on inside the engine? At Advanced Medical Imaging, the Wellness Within program makes it easy. They have different levels of preventive scans so you can choose exactly what fits your health goals. From quick baseline checks to full body insights. It's simple, it's smart, and it's all about keeping you in top form before problems ever sneak up. And the best part, you don't need a doctor's order. Just call AMI to schedule and make this the year you put your health on the schedule.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
So for those interested, and for those not interested, there's been more beard support on the text line during the commercial. Share the beard support. I might be swayed all the way up to 60%, depending on how these unfold as you read them.
Yeah, there's no anti-beard yet. So
not one?
Well, not one.
Ooh.
1922 says keep it. D-Man says you have to at least keep it until he can see it on the stream. 8985 says keep the beard until at least spring. And who knows, maybe a bonus, it will bring the basketball team some good luck.
I like bringing the basketball team good, like spring. Ooh, that's a commitment. I'm kind of a 1 week at a time. Let's see how it goes week to week right now. You got to remember, I've had beards before. They've just never stayed long, so I'm a bit of a newbie at this, all right? So I'm kind of getting used to this. Jake and I pretty much spent the entire commercial break trying to fix the college football playoff. So somehow, not the playoff game themselves, but how we fixed the playoff became the topic of conversation during the break because the fans sent in a question about double elimination games. And so take football out of this because football is an outlier when it comes to the amount of games you can play in a condensed amount of time. I love double elimination. Like the College World Series in baseball, that's my favorite way of finding a national champion. You take 8 teams and immediately you're going to have 4 teams that win, 4 teams that lose. Boom. Those 4 teams that are playing, it's do or die immediately, yet you have to lose twice in order to be eliminated. So it becomes very do or die. Games mean a whole lot real quick, yet it's hard. Like anybody can lose once, but to beat a really good team twice, more often than not, you find a true national champion in this format. So to me, I love it because you get a bunch of games, a short time frame. They become very important, very quick elimination games. Yet if you lose twice, you can't really say, hey, we were the better team. So the odds are you're going to find a true national champion. You can do that in baseball. You can do it in softball. You can do it in basketball. You can do it in a lot of things. I told Jake my first ever experience in a club sport type situation was it wasn't a club team. It was like 10U All-Stars in baseball. Okay, after my 10-year-old season, they're like, hey, you want to come play in this All-Star team? I was like, oh, okay, sure. I didn't even know what those were at the time. Really, honestly, I didn't. And so my very first tournament ever, we traveled over the Rocky Mountains. We braved the Rocky Mountains like the folks of the Oregon Trail back in the day. No, we drove, and we weren't scared at all. And But I didn't know what this double elimination thing, what does that mean? So we go right out, we lose the first game immediately. And now we end up winning the tournament championship. But in order to do so, we had to play 5 games in one day. I thought that was the greatest thing ever as a 10-year-old. Still one of my favorite memories to this day. I was disgusting, I was dirty, and I loved it. Maybe that's what laid me down the path to becoming a dirty defensive lineman one day. Maybe that's why I didn't like playing quarterback, no disrespect to quarterbacks, and I wanted to go hit people and be dirty like a D line. Maybe that set the tone, and I just didn't know it until right now. Maybe not. Maybe it has nothing to do with it. I thought it was great. The problem is you can't do that in football. How are you going to play that amount of games without it taking like 2 months? You know what I mean? So either you'd have to make the whole season the playoff, or you'd have to have far less teams in the playoff. By the way, the whole season being the playoff might be what we do in the near future. It just won't be double elimination, but they're not going to put less teams in. They're going to try to get 24 teams in the near future. I'm pretty convinced. So that's what we were discussing during the break. How do we fix it? What do we do? Are we ever going to talk portal and actual playoff games? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we probably should. Especially if there's a new quarterback in town. I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Okay. I think we should dive into that topic. By the way, I don't know if I'm up to 60 because they can't see me. If they could see me, I'd be up to 6, but I'm like 55% pro beard right now. 55.
Yes. We're moving them up.
Tomorrow, will they be able to see me tomorrow? Will that be fixed tomorrow? Any idea?
That's the hope. Hopefully it'll be fixed within the hour, but we'll see. I don't know.
All right. If they see me tomorrow and we start getting a bunch of negative texts, first of all, I'm going to be highly offended. Second of all, the beard's gone. But for now, I'm 55% pro beard, so we're going to go with that. All right. Nebraska's transfer portal class at this moment in time. So you look as an overall whole, Penn State 1, Oklahoma State 2, LSU 3, Texas Tech 4, shocker, Indiana 5, and you got Oklahoma, Ole Miss. There's Arizona State out of nowhere. Texas A&M, oil money couldn't get you top 5. Huh? Okay, Kentucky 10, those all right. I'm just mad. Although let's get into the quarterback thing. They took Minchie, but I'm kind of, let's keep going. Let's see, Auburn 11, Cal 12. We have dropped again? Missouri 13, 14. Okay, where are we? Wow, we're at 25. We were 12 on Tuesday. What happened? Jake, what'd you do?
I think other teams are adding. There's a lot of things going on.
Holy cow. Remember, we were at like 10 or 8 or 9, and then during the commercial break, I refreshed. We dropped to 12. I blink an eye, and we're down to 25. We're going the wrong direction. Okay, that's not the point of this. That's what happens when I react to things live on air. As far as the quarterback situation, and I've kind of said this before, I think Matt Rule has to win now. I actually just got off the phone with a very passionate Husker fan. I felt like they were laying into me. I know they weren't laying into me, but man, they were laying into things in general pertaining to Husker football. I just happened to be on the other end of the phone. I think that's how a lot of Husker fans feel right now. And yeah, Matt Rule has this long extension. I don't think he's going anywhere. But I'm telling you, like, he needs to show noticeable improvement. Like, I don't know if the wins are going to go up, the amount next year, just based on the schedule. We could be a better team. And every phase and next year 7-5 again, just due to the schedule. Just like I thought we didn't have to be a great team this year, and the floor should have been 8 wins. Obviously, it wasn't. So when you look at it that way from a quarterback perspective, and again, I think there should be a battle between TJ Lateef. I expect TJ Lateef to get a lot better this offseason. He was a true freshman. Year 2 in a football program is usually when you make your biggest jump, because now college football life isn't new to you. College school isn't new to you. The routine isn't new to you. Weightlifting is like you've done it before. Now it's like, all right, let's hit the ground running instead of my head spinning. And so I expect TJ to make a jump. I think him and Calandra should absolutely have a quarterback battle. I honestly don't know if we've ever had one of those here, but I hope we do this year just because I believe in competition. And as far as I know, Calandra is signed, so he is coming. So let's have his quarterback battle. Now you compare him to Minchie. I'm going to keep this brief because I put this out previously. I think Minchie had a higher ceiling for 2 years. Calandra started 31 games in his career. Right now, he's way more experienced. He's got plenty of a skill set. He can run, he can throw. You look at his stats from last year, they've been talked about, but almost 650 rush yards, almost 3,500 pass yards, 23 passing touchdowns, 9 interceptions, which is a vastly improved touchdown interception ratio from when he set some records as a true freshman at Virginia, and then a year later was benched, and a lot of it was due to turnovers. 26 touchdowns to 20 interceptions at Virginia. Not a great ratio. By the way, if you think of 9 interceptions, that's exactly what Raiola had as a freshman, 13 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. He didn't finish the year last year, But Raiola was starting to turn the ball over a ton in Big Ten play. In fact, when he got hurt, I remember making the statement he had the third most amount of turnovers of any player in the Big Ten at that point in time. Obviously, everyone else continued to play games. He unfortunately did not due to injury. So when it comes to turnovers, that's kind of been the knock on Calandria. But I don't think it's going to be any worse than Raiola has been, all right? And then he brings a dynamic to the table that Mitchie doesn't from an experience standpoint. His completion percentage jumped up from 61 to 66% if you round last year under Dan Mullen at UNLV. I believe he absolutely developed last year at UNLV under Dan Mullen, the Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year. So he brings experience with Mitchie did not. 2 years from now, Mitchie has a higher ceiling simply because he would be here and Calandria would not. And I think that's why Rule and his staff chose Mitchie. But I would point this out. You have no idea if he's going to be here 2 years from now. He could set the world on fire and go pro, talking about Mitchie, or he could hit the portal again. He's shown he'll come and go quick. Nebraska's quarterback for about 24 hours. He was. Now he's at Kentucky. So for me, I actually think this is an upgrade from Mitchie for multiple reasons. I think he'll be a better quarterback for next year. And even from Dylan Raiola, he brings things to the table that Dylan doesn't, and he doesn't bring distractions to the table that Dylan did. And other things that I think hindered our team. We'll have a better offensive line next year. I think the coaching will be better. We can discuss the guys that have been brought in. So for me, I think he's an upgrade based on if our previous quarterback had stayed, on if Mitchie had come in versus all the guys that were available. He was one of my top 4 favorite quarterbacks when I first started talking about all the quarterbacks in the portal. Of the 4 guys that were left that we were being talked about, Childs, Lagway, Pribula, and Calandria, he was by far my favorite, to be honest with you. So is this a guy that's going to win the Heisman and All-American? I don't know. I'm not predicting that. What I'm saying is I do think he is an upgrade from what we were going to have, what we could have had, and what was realistic. What say you, Jake?
Yeah, you go back into kind of the long-term thing. Maybe it's not as settled, but you do have that guy in the system, right? And TJ Latif already. So you've got that long-term play. And it's going to be an interesting battle. I think Calandria is going to win the job, but I think it's going to be enough there to kind of see how it goes. And like you said, TJ Latif usually take that biggest step from freshman to sophomore year. So he could make it quite interesting. I like him stylistically. I said from the beginning too, Mitchie, excitement, he might be a great player someday, but I wanted a veteran quarterback. This is a guy that I think can add some playmaking ability. I think it's interesting too, because Nebraska was turnover and risk averse this last year, and somewhat to their detriment at times. I think that's going to go away, and maybe that's good or bad. There's going to be certain times you're probably going to be frustrated with him. But for an all-important year 4 in my mind, this is a move that I much more prefer than Minchie, is to bring in a veteran that can push. And again, you still have TJ Latif there. If things throws 3 interceptions, whatever, then you've got an opportunity to get it there. And as far as we know, portal's still open. We'll see how it goes. But I love it. And so I think he's the style of quarterback. The biggest thing you kind of think is kind of a gamer. He's going to go out there and try and push, and hopefully, can kind of get his teammates going. I mean, this is the Mountain West Player of the Year. So he had a great year coming off that. And I just think it provides so much more to this offense outside of what you can script in the X's and O's. And that's something Nebraska's really been missing. You're
talking about him maybe being able to make plays with his legs.
Yeah.
Now you can have design quarterback runs. He's going to take off and run. People are going to love the way he plays. If he were a kid, I'd call him feisty. Because he's older, I'm going to say he's got moxie. Like, people are going to love the way he plays. He's a fiery, energetic player with moxie. He's not going to slide. Maybe they'll try to tell him to slide just for health reasons, but you watch film, he don't slide. He's lowering that shoulder. He's not the biggest dude in the world, but he plays and runs bigger than he is. He has a lot of energy. He has a lot of moxie, a lot of attitude. Like, he is someone, personality-wise, this isn't even meant to be a shot at Dylan. He is the antithesis of Dylan's personality as a player. He's going to take off. He's going to run. He's not going to slide. He's going to fight for everything. Again, it's not a shot. Like, Dylan was a pocket quarterback who didn't want to run, and he didn't slide as much last year. I can't get the slide short of the first down on 4th down at USC out of my head 2 Novembers ago. I'm sorry. That's what I'm envisioning, is I'm trying to be nice about this. He is going to be someone that fans can rally around from the way that he plays. He may turn the ball over a little bit more, but you know what else he gives us? the ability to make plays, big plays, stretch a defense sideline to sideline with his legs and vertically because his arm is strong enough to throw it downfield, and he'll take those shots. The other thing, red zone. When you have a quarterback that can take off and run via designed runs or just, hey, there's a lane, I'm going to go, boom. Our red zone efficiency with that alone should be improved right there. And then as a defense, you have to account for that. That limits what you can call defensively. If he's taking off and making your life a nightmare, man defense, like man coverage is going to be a lot harder to run because when you're covering guys man-to-man, your backs are to the line of scrimmage. If he takes off, he might be 10 yards before anyone knows he's gone. You might see a lot more zone coverages so they can sit in the zone. Their eyes are forward. They're at the quarterback. He takes off. Okay. And that makes it a lot easier to call routes for Dana Holgorsen. Easier to scheme guys open. I'm not saying he's Michael Vick. What I'm saying is he brings a dynamic that's going to help us specifically in the red zone. The other thing, when you think about TJ Lateef, if I'm TJ Lateef, they bring in Minchie, that's a 2-year guy. And you got Trey Taylor coming in. Where do I fit in this? This is what I was trying to not put out in the universe on Tuesday, and then I finally kind of hinted at it. I felt like there was a decent chance, whether I wanted to say it or not, he may hit the portal. Well, you got a 1-year guy now, and even though you got Trey Taylor coming in, there's a time window in there that's set up perfectly for TJ Lateef to be the starter at Nebraska now. So it's almost like Calandria, Lateef, Taylor. What are the odds that works out the way we want? I don't know, but it sets up much nicer than, Minchie comes in, he's here for 2 years. TJ's probably like, okay, I'm out. And then you're going to count on a freshman Trey Taylor to come in, unless you bring in another portal guy at that point, which you could obviously do. I just think it sets up much nicer on multitude of levels. I just made up that word and it sounded terrible, but you get my point. Multiple levels. There you go. All right. Shout out to our sponsors. Mulberry Barbecue, good friends, partners of the show. It's the noon hour, and that means it's lunchtime. I feel like it's either 9 in the morning or 7 at night, though, with how dark it is outside. But it is the noon hour here on the Adam Carriker Show. Mulberry Barbecue now has 2 locations at 11th and Cornhusker and 61st and Apples Way right off of Highway 2 by Lowe's. Both locations are open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Try their burnt-end sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, ladies and gentlemen, delicious full slab of ribs, half-smoked chicken, and much, much more. Plus, get incredible sides to get fueled for lunch today or make dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue. Located at 11th and Cornhusker and 61st and Apples Way, just off of Highway 2 by Lowe's. All right, when we come back, since Tuesday, there's been a couple guys added via the portal. Dexter Foster, Dwayne McDougal, Will Hawthorne. There's one more I'm missing. I got my notes here. I'll find him. Quasi Gilmore is crystal balled to us. So we'll give quick thoughts on that. And then we'll eventually get to, the frickin' college football playoff game tonight because that's how this calendar is set up. So that's the order that it gets talked into. As a Nebraska fan, are you allowed to pick Miami? Venom from 30 years ago. Is that still around?
I think there should be. Yeah, I think we're allowed to give our honest take, but
there was some hesitation.
There's a little bit, yeah. You will be looked at the wrong.
All right, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in December, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book your holiday parties at Double Eagle Golf and make plans to join them for a New Year's Eve party. Gift cards make a great stocking stuffer for Christmas, and don't forget to look ahead to 2026 as spring leagues begin in February. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf. All right, fellas, it's January. You're setting goals, you're hitting the gym, but have you checked what's going on inside the engine? At Advanced Medical Imaging, the Wellness Within program makes it easy. They have different levels of preventive scans so you can choose exactly what fits your health goals. From quick baseline checks to full body insights. It's simple, it's smart, and it's all about keeping you in top form before problems ever sneak up. And the best part, you don't need a doctor's order. Just call AMI to schedule and make this the year you put your health on the schedule.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination. Husker Nation, conference play is here for Husker women's hoops, and we need your help. The Huskers had one of their best starts ever, completing non-conference play with a perfect 12-0 record. But Big Ten play will be a challenge, and they need to hear Husker Nation in the stands for every basket, steal, and each and every win. The road to March starts now, so don't wait. Head to huskers.com/tickets and secure your seat for some unforgettable matchups in PBA. Go Big Red. Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, to brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. As a former Husker and NFL player, I'm a bit of a health nut. Hydration and recovery, they do indeed start at home. Make sure you team up with Culligan of Lincoln. Soft water means better showers, cleaner dishes, and it protects your water heater and appliances. Their high-efficiency softener cuts salt and water usage. For drinking, make sure you add a Culligan reverse osmosis. Ladies and gentlemen, it's like bottled quality water right at your tap. Great taste, and it's certified to reduce tough contaminants like lead and PFAs. Right now, get up to $300 off a whole home system or just $9.95 a month for your first 3 months. Schedule your free water test at CulliganHuskers.com. Again, that's CulliganHuskers.com. Culligan of Lincoln, water you love, go Big Red. So a lot of these guys have been talked about, so I'm going to go through them briefly here. Dexter Foster led Oregon State through tackles, had over 50 tackles through the first 7 games. He still was tied in assistant tackles for the team. I mean, honestly, I think he was their best linebacker. So he's coming here. So you can kind of say we got Oregon State's best linebacker. You look at Owen Chambliss. He led the San Diego State in tackles. This is a guy who was kind of a fairly high-name player, all-conference type guy for San Diego State, following Rob Orich. Probably got San Diego State's best linebacker, if you will. Now, we don't have, Quasi Gilmore's just crystal ball to be here. But if he comes, he's led UCLA in receptions and receiving yards. We could argue we're getting, potentially, Quasi Gilmore, UCLA's best wide receiver, at least statistically. Now, these are, it's, Oregon State, Pac-2, okay? San Diego State, love them. Mountain West, UCLA, not the best team in the world. But these are all still pretty true statements, depending on how you want to look at it. Dwayne McDougal, safety, also following Rob Orich from San Diego State. Now, he started playing for Orich at Idaho, followed him to San Diego State and now Nebraska. Well-rounded ball hawk with solid instincts. He had 55 tackles, 4 interceptions, which would have led the Huskers a year ago. He's not like a bigger name like an Owen Chambliss, but a key piece. You need those key pieces. You're going to put the puzzle together, the puzzle pieces of a team together. He was a key piece in that San Diego State defense last year. Will Hawthorne, this is a guy who probably has the highest ceiling of anybody. 10, 800-meter dash guy at 225, 230 pounds, an almost 10-foot broad jump. The dude is athletic, fast, can run, a 4-star coming out of high school, went to Iowa State. They loved him at Nebraska's camp where he ran a 4.5. This is a dude who's got 3-4 years of eligibility. 2-3 years from now, he could be very, very exciting to watch. Nothing proven yet at this point. All right. I think that's everyone since Tuesday. Spent a lot of time, obviously, on the quarterback. Now, does this guarantee anything? It doesn't guarantee a freaking thing. I sat here and just said we could have a much improved team next year and still win 7 games just due to the schedule. So it doesn't guarantee a freaking thing. But I do believe everything I just said at the same time. Now, what do the results on the field bear out? As Jake likes to say, we'll talk about it after we see it. Jake, you got any headlines in general over there?
Well, there's another guy to add. Nebraska just picked up in the last 15 minutes or so. Anthony Jones from UCLA, 6'5", 265-pound edge rusher, had 20 tackles and a sack and a half this past season. I believe he led UCLA as far as getting to the quarterback as far as pressures go. Very interesting in that he will be a senior. This is his 5th school. All 5 have been in the Big Ten. He started at Oregon, then transferred to Indiana, then transferred to Michigan State, then transferred to UCLA, and now will transfer to Nebraska.
So next year, he'll get to go say hi to his good buddies at Oregon because we play Oregon. He'll get to go say hi to his good buddies in Indiana because we play the Hoosiers. And Michigan State, not UCLA, though, unfortunately. But, all right, he gets to the hello goodbye tour. Is that what we want to call it for him? He did lead UCLA in hurries, 4 quarterback hurries on the season. Tied for the team lead in sacks, 1.5 sacks. So statistically, those things are all true. Brings in a veteran presence, so to speak, bit of a journeyman approach. I'm curious to see how he projects on the depth chart. 6'5", 265 pounds, Nebraska's newest defensive lineman here. Any other headlines?
Well, just looking at it too, his sack may have come. It came in the UNLV game. His sack last year may have come against another Anthony Calandria, and I believe it did because he was the only one that played in that game. So that's a little bit interesting as well. But there's a couple guys that's interesting that they're taking, and might not light the world on fire. There's some other position. Linebacker, obviously, offensive line has been a big target for them so far. So we'll see how the class kind of finishes out, but. You got to like it so far, especially, like I said, on the line where I think Tria Babalade and Brendan Black are both plug-and-play starters.
You need depth pieces, too.
Yeah.
Like, if you bring in, probably 12, 15 guys, maybe more, but 12, 15 guys in the portal, they're not all going to start right away. Or maybe they are, I don't know. But you got to bring in depth pieces as well. You told me that Jason Witten is now Oklahoma's new tight ends coach. Is that what you told me during the break?
Yes, that is also breaking news.
Do you remember I'm just going to give you my response on air that I gave you privately during the break. Is that really better than calling NFL games on Fox? With all due respect to Oklahoma, is that really better?
It's a different path. I don't think it's a pay raise.
All right. Maybe he just loves Oklahoma.
Yeah.
All right. Ole Miss, Miami. Jake, who you got here, my friend?
Well, I think I'm going to keep riding the Ole Miss wave. Obviously, they've had the distraction that is the Lane Kiffin departure. You lose a couple more coaches in this week, kind of moving into it. But they've just been a tough team all year long. Miami, again, they might be kind of hitting their stride, but I still can't get over some losses to some mediocre teams in the midway through the season.
Do you think they're a legit better team than Ohio State, or do you think that I think it was actually a 26-day layoff this year, played a huge role in Miami upsetting Ohio State? Or do you think they're actually that good and they just play up to their competition and down to it at times?
I mean, I think they can. Again, while I mentioned those losses, keep in mind they've beaten Ole Miss, Ohio State, Texas A&M, Notre Dame this year. So, I mean, they definitely can be. It's just about consistency, and maybe they are. Maybe they're hitting their stride right now.
They haven't beaten Ole Miss yet. You said Ole Miss.
Texas A&M, Ohio State, Notre Dame.
Yeah, there you go. All right, a couple of interesting stats. All 4 quarterbacks left. Trinidad Chambliss, Carson Beck, Fernando Mendoza, and Dante Moore left in the playoff are all transfers. And Dante Moore is the number 1 overall projected quarterback going into the NFL draft next year. Fernando Mendoza is all over the place. I've seen him high first round. I've seen some guys say second, third. One guy said fourth. I was like, what? Okay. All right. This is what swayed my pick. Ole Miss, at least half of their coaching staff, pretty much all their offensive coaches, Lane Kiffin said after they beat Georgia, you guys stay here at LSU. I think that's going to play a much bigger role than people would like to admit. I don't know if this matters a ton. Miami played on New Year's Eve. Ole Miss played the evening of New Year's Day, a full day of preparation in benefit of Miami. This is where the extra days actually help. I don't know if it's that big of a deal. Again, Miami, I said, coming into the playoff, highest ceiling, lowest floor team in the entire playoff. They could win it all or they could lose by double digits round 1 to A&M. Obviously, they did not. They did have this weird span in the middle of their season where they had 2 bye weeks in 3 weeks. They had a bye week, a game, and a bye week. And that their 2 losses were relatively surrounding that time frame. And I don't know if that played into it or not, but that's just really, really weird. All right, my man. I'm going to take Miami, as blasphemous as that is. I do like certain teams being good because it's good for college football when teams like Miami, Notre Dame, Nebraska, Florida State, all these teams, everyone except for Texas, is good for college football when those teams are good. Texas should never be good. Everyone else, the Blue Bloods, college football is better when those teams are good. I honestly might have taken Ole Miss. Trinidad Chambliss was Houdini. I don't know if he can replicate that performance that he had versus Georgia again against Miami. I actually think he can, and he might. I just think the coaching situation, that distraction, at some point it's going to catch up to Ole Miss. And I think Lane Kiffin saying, hey, you guys, you got to stay here at LSU. And that's half their coaching staff, most of their offensive coaches. To me, that's why I lean Miami in this game. All right, ladies and gentlemen. The Bears' future is yet up in the air, to be determined tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
If you can all see me on camera, probably get that feedback tomorrow. Determination will be made then, but I'm 55% pro beard right now.
Yes.
Maybe 56. It might have gone up. Maybe 56. All right, go Big Red Nose. Remember, throw the bones.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion